Hi everyone, my name is Castro. Currently, I am enrolled in the Instructional Technology Education Specialist degree at Kennesaw State University. I will share with you my capstone project called Effective Technology Tools to Develop Literacy Skills in Bilingual Learners. A little bit about me. I teach at West High School, Georgia. I teach a Spanish immersion class called Directed Studies and IB Spanish A in IB program. I have been teaching for more than 20 years from kindergarten to 12th grade in Spanish dual immersion settings, second and foreign language learning in Colombia, UK, and the United States. Context and demographic data. West Hall High School is a public school located in Oakwood, Hall County, Georgia, at the north of Atlanta. There are about 1,100 students enrolled. As you can see in the graphs, population at West Hall represent Hispanics 48%, white 41%, Asian 3%, African American 7%, and others 1%. In total, the economically disadvantaged students population represent 19%. The English language learners population, 15%, has trended upwards, increasing by almost 50% and reached 100% over the last 10 years. Students with disabilities are a diverse group that represents 11%. About 20% of students with disability also qualify as ELL learners. Considering that ELL students are almost half of our population and their first language is Spanish, they would be able to learn and transfer literacy skills to their second language, so that they should improve their literacy skills and transfer them to their academic performance. The proposal and overall goal of this project was to design, implement, and evaluate an instructional technology plan for bilingual students to develop literacy skills by incorporating effective technology tools to instruction based on authentic learning experiences. Bilingual students develop literacy and increase their language skills proficiency to be able to transfer them and apply them in both languages. The Capstone project connected three essential concepts: literacy skills, language acquisition, and authentic learning. Frankel defined literacy as the process of using reading, writing, and oral language to extract, construct, integrate, and critique meaning through interaction and involvement in contexts of socially situated practices. Lincoln and Eklund showed the positive and successful outcome of immersion bilingual education through the relationship between bilingual proficiency and academic achievement. Nikitina used instructional technology to create authentic learning environments to develop literacy skills in language instruction and found that students develop linguistic and non-linguistic skills throughout the use of technology. The goals proposed for the capstone, apart from the main goal, was the 100% of participation of language teachers, and also 90% of those teachers improve teaching practices. 75% of ELL students will show growth in their literacy skills. 75% of ELL students will use effective technology tools to develop authentic learning projects to demonstrate the master of the standards and language proficiency and apply them to different language skills. The plan had 4 effective technology tools: Flipgrid to develop speaking, listening skills, New SLA for reading skills, Book Creator for writing skills, and Ignite to develop communicative and cultural skills. The Capstone project plan began in August 2020. During the first PLC in August, I provided the Capstone project with the technology plan. Due to the pandemic, the team adjusted the plan to the current situation at the school based on the virtual and blended learning model. Teachers decided not to have a pre and post assessment. The surveys were conducted to collect information after the implementation of each technology tool, along with the samples of the products made by the students to analyze and reflect on the effectiveness of the tools. Teachers implemented 1 strategy per month, shared student work, reflecting on the experience and evaluating the results of the implementation during the monthly PLC time. So we see here that September was Flipgrid, October New SLA, November Book Creator, December Ignite, and then in January the student and teachers final analysis, reflection, and evaluation. The evaluation plan showed the analysis of data from a students and teachers survey each month. It was proposed a pre and post assessment and the documentation of the process in the Canvas course minutes and teachers' reflections. Experience and results. We're going to start with Flipgrid. Due to the pandemic, the district and the school adjusted to deliver instruction in different ways to offer students access to instruction. Teachers had to be flexible, adjusting 3 instructional models: virtual, blended, and in-person learning. So we started in September. Teachers implemented Flipgrid to develop speaking and listening skills. The teachers learned how to use Flipgrid. I helped them to set up the account using the tips and the projects for each of their classes. Then they planned how to incorporate it into their lesson plans based on the content and the modern language standards that they needed to target. Based on the survey, 100% of teachers found the tool very effective to develop listening and speaking skills. The fact that the students were able to make comments and give feedback to their peers without face-to-face encounters made it more meaningful. One of the teachers expressed that the tool relieved a lot of pressure from the students whose language skills were not as advanced as others were. All of the teachers would like to continue using Flipgrid as formative assessments to provide feedback for oral proficiency. The student survey showed that 90% of the students liked Flipgrid because it was easy to use. They were able to manage their time to record themselves, share with their peers, receive feedback from others, and develop their Spanish language skills. More than 85% of the students expressed that Flipgrid helped them to practice their speaking skills. Overall, Flipgrid demonstrated to be a useful tool to enhance listening and speaking skills. In October, teachers continued with new SLA to develop reading skills. As a team, we reflected on the Lexile level in Spanish. Teachers agreed to have a consistent Lexile level for the class and differentiate for the students with the lower or higher reading comprehension level. Based on the survey, while one teacher expressed that new SLA did not enhance students' reading comprehension, other teachers found it very useful, interesting, and with current articles. Students used the information to create their writing pieces. They were able to take structures from the articles and apply them in their writing. They also interpreted their ideas to create a new text, blog, letters, and brochures. And 90% of the students expressed that new SLA was easy to use. They felt they could find updated informational articles about almost everything and accurate information. Some students mentioned as well the use of the useful tools that new SLA offers to enhance reading skills, such as highlight the text, read aloud, and vocabulary hints. The next one was in November. Teachers continued with Book Creator to develop writing skills. They planned their lessons with projects to write about cultural and family traditions, celebrations from different countries, and also about healthy habits. Due to the isolation and quarantine, many students were in and out of school, so the implementation of Book Creator took longer than expected. So it was until January in some classes. Teachers affirmed that students were engaged and motivated to write their books. Many progressed in their vocabulary and sentence structures. They thought outside of the box, not only about their book, but also about designing and illustration. It worked well as a performance-based project and summative assessment. A student survey showed that 100% enjoyed the use of Book Creator. They found it very useful to develop writing skills, learn new vocabulary, and display creativity. Some of their comments referred to the freedom to create their own books as independent writers and learning by themselves language skills and content at the same time. In January, due to the pandemic, students started the second semester in a virtual blended learning instructional model, studying from home. Teachers couldn't apply Ignite, which was the last technology tool. The final event to share the books was canceled due to the pandemic. Teachers were able to implement 3 out of the 4 technology tools planned in the Capstone project. They reflected in their instructional practices and enhanced their teaching. Teachers and students provided valuable feedback about the impact of each tool along the process. It demonstrated that technology integration in the classroom could help teachers improve students' performance implementing technology tools to develop literacy skills. I would like to say that the teamwork and commitment to our students prevailed, and the implementation of the Capstone project took place with positive outcomes in spite of the struggle and the uncertainty. As proposed in the Capstone project, 100% of teachers participated. Teachers learned, reflected, and discussed the effectiveness of the literacy strategies and technology tools implemented. 90% of teachers stated that they improved and enriched their practices by using these effective technology tools. They consider applying the technology plan again next year. Qualitative data collected by surveys every month demonstrated that the instructional technology tools enhance language proficiency, engagement, and developed literacy skills. The majority of students state that the tools enhance their learning. It provided independent learning time to design a book, learn new vocabulary, and strategies to read and speak in their second language. Based on my Capstone learning experience, I gained knowledge as a technology facilitator and technology leader because I learned how to design, implement, and evaluate an instructional technology plan. I learned to lead the Capstone project to implement technology strategies, analyze different data, reflect and evaluate the results, and improve students' learning. I facilitated and lead the professional learning community based on the standards, and we were able to develop literacy skills in all students. It allowed me to facilitate the implementation of research-based instructional practices, promoting best practices in teaching, learning, and assessment, provide support to teachers, make smart decisions about the adjustments to our new reality this year, and be flexible while accomplishing the goals of the project. It allowed me to model and facilitate the use of digital tools to support diverse students' needs, enhance cultural understanding, and increase global awareness. I also learned to systematically guide instruction to do an effective implementation of the strategies. Some of the recommendations are here. The main one is the positive attitude. Also keep one, have the ability to adjust to the particular environment, will inspire teachers, leaders to enrich the process along the way. Always work with the leadership team, stakeholders, and administrators towards the goals, vision, and strategic plan at the school. Support teachers all the time, build positive relationships, be open to suggestions and feedback, troubleshoot barriers when presenting, and overall be enthusiastic and flexible, especially during difficult times. Here are some examples of the books that the students did. I would like to share with you an interview, and thank you for listening.
My name is Erin Davis, and I teach IB Spanish and Spanish 1. And I used Flipgrid with my IB Spanish class. It was a really great way and especially at the beginning of the year when they weren't quite comfortable yet in presenting and things like that. It was a really great way to get them talking and to do it in a way that wasn't intimidating. I used Book Creator with my Spanish 1 class. We just finished a food unit, and they created a book just to present different foods. And it was a great way just to get them writing in a very simple way, but to end up with a nice product that they were really proud of. It wasn't just it didn't feel so simple. It felt like they had created something that was valuable.
I use Flipgrid in Spanish because I found it easy to use and very useful, and I'm not that type of person to present in front of classes, so I just thought it was, a lot more useful for me.
Flipgrid is a useful tool within my IB Spanish A Year 2 class that we use frequently to be creative and demonstrate our reading, writing, and speaking skills in a virtual manner that is both safe for us and the others around us.
So in Spanish, we use Book Creator in a lot of projects. Like our first one was about culture, our second one was about health, and our third one was about fairy tales, I think. And it was very easy to use. Like everything was pretty self-explanatory, and overall, I enjoyed using it.